Hey, Marvel fans! The latest movie from the MCU, Fantastic Four: First Steps, has been released. After quite some time, Marvel has delivered a blockbuster film that is not just great in terms of story, graphics, or action but also sets the future of the MCU very well. All the flaws that were in the previous Fantastic Four movies have been removed, and this film has been made almost perfect. If you want to fully understand this movie, then keep watching this video because today I will explain Fantastic Four: First Steps in short. So grab your snacks, hit that like button and subscribe to join our movie-loving crew. So let's get started. The story of this movie is not from the main Marvel universe, but rather it shows a different universe, where the world is just like ours, only more advanced. However, its style is a bit old-fashioned. There aren't many superheroes in this world. There is just one superhero team, which is the Fantastic Four, who received their powers 4 years ago during a space mission from cosmic radiation. The leader of this team is Reed Richards, who is a very intelligent scientist and has the power to stretch like rubber. Reed's wife is Sue Storm, who can turn invisible and create force fields. Sue's younger brother is Johnny Storm, who has the power to control fire and can ignite himself and fly. The last member is Ben Grimm, who turned into a stone-like being from the cosmic radiation and is very powerful. For the past 4 years, the Fantastic Four have been protecting the world with their powers, and everyone likes them a lot. Then one day, Sue finds out that she's pregnant. Hearing this news, Johnny, Ben, and the entire world become very happy. But Reed is a bit worried that their powers might have a bad effect on the baby. That's why Reed does a lot of tests on Sue's pregnancy, but he finds no problem, and the baby seems completely normal. Meanwhile, the Fantastic Four start receiving a new kind of signal from space, in which some strange sounds are coming. So Johnny starts trying to understand those signals. Then a few months later, a strange flying woman arrives in New York City from space. Everyone gathers to see her, and the Fantastic Four also arrive there, thinking of her as a threat. That woman was Silver Surfer, a powerful alien who was a slave of a huge cosmic being named Galactus, who eats planets. Silver Surfer used to choose the right planets for him and would give a warning to the people on the planet before Galactus arrived that their final moments were near. For now, she had chosen planet Earth to satisfy Galactus's hunger. That's why she came here and told everyone that they don't have much time left, so they should live their lives to the fullest. Then Silver Surfer leaves. But as she leaves, Johnny follows her. At that time, she says something to him in a different language, and that language matched the space signals Johnny was studying. On the other side, the whole world was wondering if Silver Surfer's warning was real or fake. That's why Reed does a bit of research and finds out that many planets in space have suddenly disappeared, and in place of all those planets, Silver Surfer's energy is present. Which means she had been there before they vanished. That's why Reed understands that Silver Surfer is telling the truth. In other words, Galactus really does eat planets, and now he's coming to Earth. That's why Reed thinks that before Galactus comes here, the 4 of them should go to him so they can talk and try to solve the matter, or find a way to defeat him. Then the Fantastic Four announce in front of the entire world that they're going to space to deal with Galactus and protect them. To find Galactus, Reed tracks Silver Surfer's energy again because he hoped she would still be near her master. Her energy was currently coming from another galaxy, which was very far away and difficult to reach. But the good thing was that the Fantastic Four had a lightspeed engine, which Reed had built and placed in space some time ago. Then all 4 of them sit in their rocket, take it into space, and connect it to the engine, which sends them to that other galaxy at the speed of light. As soon as they arrive, they see a huge planet from which Silver Surfer's energy is coming. Then from inside that planet, a massive spaceship emerges, which destroys the planet and absorbs it inside. That spaceship actually belonged to Galactus, which would break planets and absorb them. And inside that ship was a machine that turned the debris of the planet into energy and fed it to Galactus. After this, the spaceship pulls the Fantastic Four's rocket inside itself. Then Silver Surfer appears and tells them that Galactus wants to meet them. Then Johnny asks her what she said in her language that day. She tells him that her words meant, "Perish with your loved ones." Then all 4 go to Galactus, who is a giant and powerful alien. He tells them that billions of years ago, he was also a small and ordinary person like them. But then he gained a power that made him extremely large and powerful. But that power is also a kind of curse, which makes Galactus constantly hungry, and even devouring planets does not satisfy him. That's why he wants to be freed from it, and now he has found a way. When he scans the Fantastic Four with his eyes, he sees a power inside Sue's womb that is even stronger than Galactus's power. That's why he tells them that the baby has cosmic powers, and he can give the baby his curse to free himself. But Reed doesn't believe this because he had done many tests on the baby and it seemed completely normal. Then Galactus tells him that the baby is hiding its power, and if they give the baby to him, he will spare their planet. But Reed and Sue refuse. They take their rocket and start escaping. Then Silver Surfer follows them. She even enters the wormhole behind their lightspeed engine through which they were traveling. During this time, Sue starts getting labor pains. It means she is about to give birth, and Silver Surfer wants to snatch the baby. To save them, Reed brings their rocket out of the wormhole and takes it near a black hole. Then as soon as Silver Surfer arrives there, she gets trapped in the black hole's gravity, where she won't be able to escape for a few days. Inside the rocket, Sue gives birth to their baby boy. They name him Franklin Richards. After this, all four return to Earth, where people think that they have defeated Galactus. But Reed tells them that they didn't do that, and their conversation with Galactus failed because he wanted their baby in exchange for Earth, which they didn't want to give. After hearing this, people turn against them, saying they are putting the whole world at risk for one baby. Then everywhere people start protesting against the Fantastic Four and begin to hate them. Seeing this, Reed starts thinking that people are right, and maybe they should give their baby to Galactus. But Sue doesn't agree to this. She refuses to give up Franklin under any circumstances. Then one day, she comes in front of everyone and says that she won't sacrifice her baby, but she also won't let the world be destroyed. They will definitely find a solution to this problem. And because a few days were still left before Galactus could arrive, Reed thinks of building a machine that can move the entire Earth out of the solar system and into another one, where Galactus can never reach. Reed had earlier built a small teleportation device, with which he could send anything from one place to another. Now, he decides to make that device on a large scale. And because they had to shift the entire world, one machine wouldn't be enough, they had to set up teleportation bridges in many cities across the world. All the countries come together, work day and night, and build those bridges. In the meantime, Johnny understands Silver Surfer's language through the meaning of that one phrase, and with its help, he also decodes the space signals that contain Silver Surfer's voice. Through this, Johnny learns her full history. On the other hand, Galactus's spaceship is getting very close to Earth, and he is going to reach here in 4 days. But before that, Reed activates his machine. All the teleportation bridges across the world start creating a portal around Earth. But before it's completed, Silver Surfer arrives and destroys all the bridges. Only the last bridge in New York City is left. As she comes to destroy it, Johnny stops her and starts playing the space recordings for Silver Surfer, the voices from her home planet. Then Johnny tells her that he has learned her real name is Shalabal, and she used to live on a planet named Zenla, which Galactus was going to devour. To stop him, Shalabal became his slave and has been finding planets for him ever since. Johnny plays her the recordings of her home planet's people thanking her for saving them. But then he plays the voices from the other planets where Shalabal took Galactus. In those recordings, people were begging for their lives and screaming in pain. Then Johnny tells Silver Surfer that even though she saved her own planet, she helped in destroying others. Hearing this, she becomes very emotional. She had come here to destroy the bridges and take Franklin. But now she feels ashamed and has sympathy for this world. That's why she leaves empty-handed. This gives the Fantastic Four a little more time, because Galactus still has 2 days to arrive. For now, all the teleportation bridges in the world were destroyed, so it was impossible to move Earth anymore. That's why Reed thinks instead of moving the Earth, they should send Galactus somewhere else. Because they still had one last teleportation bridge left. So Reed comes up with a plan. He will place Franklin beneath that bridge, and when Galactus steps down from his ship to take the baby, they will teleport him to a different part of the universe, where he'll never be able to return without his spaceship. Hearing this plan, Sue, Johnny, and Ben get very angry that Reed is using his own baby as bait. But now, they had no other option to save the world. So eventually, they all agree. There was only one problem with this plan: Galactus was huge, and his arrival could cause massive destruction and risk the lives of many people. So, to save the people of the city, the Fantastic Four decide to send everyone to an underground city called Subterranea, which was ruled by a man named Mole Man. He was once the enemy of the Fantastic Four, but later Sue befriended him. So now she convinces Mole Man to allow the people of New York to stay in his city for some time. As soon as Galactus' ship arrives, Reed and Sue place Franklin in a special cradle and leave it under the teleportation bridge. After that, Galactus starts searching for the child and arrives at that location. Then Johnny distracts him and takes the real cradle away, while Reed places a fake cradle there. But Galactus realizes their trick. So he doesn't step near the bridge and instead heads toward the Fantastic Four's building to find Franklin. Then Ben, Reed, and Johnny try to stop him but fail, and Galactus takes the child from the building. At that point, Sue uses all her power to create a massive force field and starts pushing Galactus toward the teleportation bridge. Meanwhile, Reed snatches Franklin from Galactus' hands and activates the machine, opening a portal that starts pulling Galactus in. But even after entering the portal, Galactus begins to come back out. Then Johnny decides to sacrifice himself and, using all his power, tries to push Galactus into the portal. But just then, Silver Surfer, aka Shallowball, arrives. Now awakened with humanity inside her, she pushes Johnny aside and forcefully shoves Galactus into the portal herself. As a result, she also gets pulled in, and the portal closes. Thus, Franklin and the Earth are saved. But on the other side, Sue had used up all her energy fighting Galactus, and she dies. Seeing this, Reed, Johnny, and Ben are devastated. Then Franklin goes to his mother and, as soon as he touches her lifeless body, she comes back to life, because this child had infinite power and could do anything. After that, the people of New York come out of Subterranea, and everyone celebrates the Fantastic Four's victory. In the mid-credits scene, we see a time skip of 4 years. Franklin is a little older now, and Sue is reading him a book. Then, when she leaves to get another book, a mysterious man appears. He is wearing green clothes and holding a metal mask in his hand, sitting with Franklin. This man is Dr. Doom, the new villain of the multiverse, who has probably come to steal Franklin's power. The rest of the story will continue in Avengers Doomsday. And this was the explanation of Fantastic Four: First Steps. If you enjoyed the explanation, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Marvel breakdowns and movie insights. Thanks for watching.